I'm gonna do a advice video, but the way I'm gonna do it is basically kind of like a laid back, chillax type advice video, not like the professional setting type thing. I just decided to just keep it calm, cool, collected, you know? So just to go over, basically, as you read in the title, it is going to be about advice on how to get the job and what to do to get interviewed for the job. So basically, when you are looking for a job, depending on if it's in retail or if it's in administration or if it is to be a mechanic or anything, you basically need a resume because that helps you stand out over other people. A lot of times in retail you can only apply. No, that's a lie, because recently everything's like electronic. My dog is staring at me like, girl, what are you doing? Most of the stuff is electronic, so you can't attach a resume, and it's really important to haven't applied for a job in a very long time now that I think of it. So that's possibly why. Not that not that I'm just a bum, it's because I've been working in the same place for many years. So basically, which I just realized I keep saying that over and over again, so my apologies. What you're gonna need to do is find a resume online that you can, as a template that you can change around. Microsoft has plenty of great templates. Microsoft Word, depending on whichever one you have. A lot of times people just don't have the newest edition, like that Microsoft 2000, and what is the newest one? Is it 17, 18, 16? I know it's pretty recent. So you can search templates, you can put in resume, and it'll pop up a resume for you, Microsoft Word, and you can just go in and revise everything. There are different sites that you can go to, and it kind of will just spit it out for you, and you can just put in like your name, your address, your contact number, links, like if you want to have your LinkedIn connected to your resume and people can click on your LinkedIn, which is a good plus to have on your resume, especially if your LinkedIn is well put together and well presented. It is great to have your LinkedIn connected to your resume, which is basically the website on your resume. And another thing, whenever you're going through, put your most recent job first. Human resource managers or just hiring managers are going to want to see your most recent job. And if you were only at their last job for 30 days, 60 days, I recommend not putting it on your resume. If you're there for a month, and it's just not going to be a good look for you. If you're currently there at that time, just put present. But if you were only there for a month, it's just not a good look. A lot of times you're not going to get called back because it just looks like you're not, the word I can possibly say is stable. You know, not anything bad, not trying to say anything bad about people that were at a job for just a month, because I know some things happen, just things don't work out. It just wasn't what you were looking for, which you can explain. But in that part of that time when you're looking for jobs, you don't want that hiring manager to not even call you back because it looks like you may job hop. So you know, during the interview process, you can bring that up and just explain, like, it was, you know, something completely different than I expected. You know, that their expectations were a little bit different than I thought, and just explain your reasoning on why you weren't there for a long time. So of course, you're gonna put your most recent job first and then go down from there. A lot of times you want to keep your resume down to one page. It's very important. If you have a resume that's like 4 pages, you won't get a call back, because that just means you job hop. It is not good to have a resume that's like 4 pages long. It may just show that you have a lot of experience, but try to keep it simple. If it's something where you want to put a lot of your jobs in that are pretty much compatible with the position you are looking to apply for, just keep your topics of what you did in the position itself very straightforward, so you can kind of fit it in, condense it into one page. So typically what I would suggest is like keep it down to like your last 3 jobs. It's good to, of course, put in jobs that are compare, like something that is related to the job you're applying for. And then of course, when you get to the interview, you can explain, well, I also worked here and I did this and this is the experience I have, things like that. You double check your number on your resume. There's so many people that accidentally misplaced, but accidentally placed the wrong number on their resume just by a digit. And if you send out your resume to 15 people in 1 week and you haven't gotten a call back, you can only blame yourself because you didn't double check that. And it's a bad look, because if you call in and you tell somebody, hey, I'm just looking to follow up on my resume, I submitted it over a week ago and I just want to see the status of my application, and they're looking at it, they're like, oh yeah, I gave you a call yesterday and I got the wrong person, and it's just not a good look for you as a candidate for the position, because something such as your number that you repeat multiple times a year, it's just not just good at all for your position, or for that position, or for your eligibility for that position. And then also your email, even of course how that goes, even if you misplace or why do I keep saying misplaced? I don't even understand why I keep saying misplaced. Even if you say the wrong, like put in the wrong one number, one letter wrong, it's not going to go to you. So when a company is looking to just inform you that they're not interested in having you as a candidate for the position, when you try to call, it's not a good look for you at all, because you want to be fully aware, because a lot of times when you are applying, it automatically does a auto reply and tells you, thank you for applying, we'll reach out to you within 72 hours, things like that. So to go into so you got your resume, you have it prepared. For girls, I would suggest like a little bit of color. Guys too, like, come on honey, put some color in that thing. I'm kidding, but if you want to, but for girls, you can put a splash of color in your resume. There are a lot of templates in Microsoft that you can actually put your initials in the corner, and you can have it like a light blue or and keep it professional though. Don't do something that's like outrageous. Have your whole thing with a splash of paint all over it, things like that, unless you're applying to be an artist at a company or something, but if you were looking to be in a professional field, or even to just be in customer service or work for a call center, you can put a little basically your initials in a corner, and you can have it like I said, light blue, pink, a professional yellow color, something like that. Just be modest with it as well. Keep that in mind. And so after you submit your resume, don't call the next day. Please do not call the next day. The hiring manager, a lot of times they're reviewing over 100 resumes, or they're receiving over 100 resumes. So when you call the next day, it's unfortunately, it's kind of like a bad thing when you reach out that quick. I know you may be very excited to possibly be interviewed for the position or anything. Just don't call that quick. If you want to follow up on the status of your application or your resume, reach out, give it at least 3 days. I say at least 3 days. And then that kind of, when you do call, it's not a bad thing when you call. It's not a bad thing when you call. It's just, it does help you stand out. Again, it helps you stand out from the other people, the other candidates that did apply for the position. But you don't want to seem so desperate for the position as well. And don't call over and over again. If you call more than 3 times, you're not going to get, there's a big chance you won't get the position. That it just becomes annoying to the hiring manager or the human resource manager, because you're just consistently calling and you're kind of keeping them away from possibly an interview or a meeting that they're about to go into, or just in the middle of like reviewing resumes. You can, if they reach out to you by email, just reply back to the email and just say, hey, I'm just following up on the status of the resume that I submitted on so-and-so date. and it will be lovely. Don't use the word lovely, but you can, you know, change it the way you want to. Make sure your tone in that email is very exciting and inviting, that you you know, you want to be considered for that position. Don't be like, hey, what's up, this is so and so, I'm just looking for the status, just, you know, checking on the status of my resume. You know, it's whatever. You know, you just want to be you know, very nice, you know, very professional. In your signature of that email, even if it's your personal, put a signature in your email and put your full name and your good contact number and things like that. To circle back to your LinkedIn, if you put your LinkedIn on your resume, make sure your LinkedIn is up to date. Make sure you have a recent photo. Make sure your all your jobs listed on your LinkedIn is you know, the grammar is correct, everything. Because if they are looking at your LinkedIn and they see just like a few words per job, you know, that's just gonna be like they're lazy type thing, you know. So speaking of that, don't send a resume with just the name of the job you worked at and then your title of the position you were in. That doesn't help anybody at all. Explain what you did. They want to know what kind of experience you have in that position. You know, explain the important parts of the position. Like if you were a call center, state that you help with customer complaints, and explain that you help close the office each day. Explain that you trained other employees in that position. Kind of put the major points that will help you get the job you want. So there's multiple ways you can fix your resume, things like that. For the interviewing, I will do a whole separate video for that, because that is there's so many things that you can do to help the way you should answer in the interview. And then I'll also do a separate video of how you should dress. I may even show you outfits of like what I would wear for an interview, things like that. But if you guys have any additional advice or anything that I may have left out on the resume part of things and how to land that job, your dream job, let me know, and I can do a whole nother video and go into more details about when and how you can get the job. Bye.